Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Valeria and this is the Offer Trench. First of all, I'd like to say that I am very thankful to my subscribers for their donations. I understand that this is your belief in me and my project, and you are ready to donate your own money to support my work and the development of the Offer Trench. Your contribution really matters for the progress of future work, and I appreciate every dollar and every cent you help me with. I have owned the Offer Trench for over 3 years. During this time, my land has undergone major changes. I have done a lot of work myself, cutting down trees and constructing buildings. I showed all the work and changes for 2 years here on YouTube. But in 2025, I didn't post a single video about the development of my land due to heavy workload. However, I will show you this work a little bit later. At the same time, I gained new subscribers. So today, I'd like to talk about my plans for 2026. 3.5 years ago, I came to a vision of my future development, self-realization, what I want and what I dream of. My plan and my dream is to repair and modernize all kinds of jeeps in my own garage, as well as to engage in various farming activities on my land. To carry out my plans, I need a large fenced plot of land, a large garage, a workshop, a house with a view to the forest, a sauna, greenhouses, an apiary, decorative and rare herbs, a garden and a pond with fish. Finally, I'm here and I thought that it would be better somehow, but no. The plan for 2026 is to stick to my strategy to build my dream place. So, January is almost over. This month has been quite cold and snowy. Sometimes the temperature at night is 0 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 18 degrees Celsius, and during the day is 14 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 10 degrees Celsius. My well is there. Sometimes, after heavy snowfalls, the snow height reaches 1 meter, and I spend all day clearing the site of snow. In addition, the electricity is cut off several times a week. Sometimes for a few hours, but sometimes for more than a day. The house cools down quite quickly due to such frosts. Luckily, I have the generator that I repaired in the fall. It is at least partially keeps the house warm. I also have a stove in the extension, thermoses and canned food. Due to the cold weather, I still haven't repaired my car after the New Year's incident. I talked about what happened to me in the video number 91. In sub-zero temperatures, all the pipes and hoses are as hard as rock, and the metal becomes brittle. I tried to work carefully, but I bent the metal hose and broke the clip, so I'm waiting for warmer weather. I added enough oil before frosts, so now it opens without any difficulties. I cannot do any welding work in such temperatures, and heating the extension is economically unfeasible and lengthy process, especially since most of the firewood is under a thick layer of snow. Anyway, I have enough supplies of cereals, canned food, and vegetable preserves that I made in the summer from my garden, and I have no problems with food. Due to these difficult conditions, most of my time I spent surviving, clearing snow on the site, walking 70 meters to the well for water. And the rest of the time I devote to working on a hedge fund project and designing my land. However, regardless of the circumstances, my goals and objectives remain the same, and I am eagerly awaiting warmer weather so that I can start on my new plans. So, let me tell you about my goals for 2026. Dear friends, I've noticed that I'm losing subscribers, even though those I've seen on the channel for a long time haven't unsubscribed. Also, sometimes there are no notifications about new videos. Please check your subscription and notification settings for my channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please support me. Even though I had to move some plans from 2023 to 2024, from 2024 to 2025, and now from 2025 to 2026, I plan to continue building and achieve my goals. I divided the plan into several parts: construction on the site, gardening, house improvement, designing facilities for future construction, and necessary purchases. The most important task is to purchase the leased land, so most, if not all of the profits, will go towards expanding the land. However, this will be my land. I will be able to build everything I need without fear of legal restrictions on construction or that the lease agreement may be terminated. In addition, when I was choosing a plot more than 3 years ago, I initially was looking for a place where I could gradually expand my land in the future. As for construction, the tasks are as follows. Well construction. Well means access to the necessary amount of water, which is required not only for house routine, but also for construction, concreting, tamping the ground, and agriculture, where a single blueberry bush may require more than 100 liters on a hot day, and mushrooms may require several cubic meters per day. Fence construction. Fence is necessary for my safety, as well for the safety of my property, tools, and equipment. Local treatment station. Thanks to it, all the waste that ends up there will be processed into completely clean water that is safe to drink. Creation of a basement for the house. Basement will allow to insulate the floor of the house, to protect infrastructure systems from frost, moisture, and accidental damage, create additional space for food supplies, and will allow to raise the ground level around the house and to concrete the driveway and the porch. Floodlight tower construction. A floodlight tower is necessary to illuminate the site, for security, to scare away wild animals and dangerous people, and for high-quality lighting protection. As you can see, all these tasks will provide me with a basis for safe and comfortable living. In addition, without construction of these facilities, I cannot continue working on the off-road range. In addition to construction, gardening work must also continue on the site. It is necessary to plow the newly leased land and to plant vegetables there. Also, I want to plant more blueberries and continue growing mushrooms. Also, in 2025, I didn't have the opportunity to continue beekeeping. So this must be done this year. To build stands for the hives, to restore the hives, to buy and populate bee colonies. Also, I should take care of the garden, to clear away fallen and rotten trees, to prune fruit trees, to treat for diseases. It is necessary to clean the well on the new rented plot. Also, containers need to be serviced, cleaning from rust, welding, and painting. This is also a task from 2025. I need to finish the construction of composters. I need them for agriculture waste processing, which after a few years will give me rich in nutrients, fertile soil. Also, I need to plant greenery along the fence to create a natural hedge and protect the plot from dust, wind, and prying ice. And the biggest task is to create permanent routes, path on the site based on the final plan of the land, taking into account the buildings, the well, and the sewage system. The difficulty is that I need to raise the level of the whole land, in some places by almost 2 meters. It means that all paths must be raised with soil and reinforced, so that they are not washed away in the future. This will require a huge amount of concrete, stones, and earth. This is really important because you have already seen the amount of snow on my land this winter. It means that in the spring the groundwater level will rise by at least half a meter, and half of my land will simply disappear underwater. So gardening is also a path to come to the ultimate vision of the off-road ranch. The sooner I start learning new skills, such as beekeeping and gardening, the sooner I lay the foundation for farming. The sooner I learn from my mistakes, the sooner I reap the fruits of my labor. Agriculture requires many years of hard work and constant adaptation to the climate and weather. The next part of the plan is to finish the house. The most important task is to connect the water and the sewage system, and at the same time to furnish the bathroom, to lay the floor, to connect the toilet and shower. But this only makes sense after the construction of the local treatment station and the well. It means that I have to postpone this task for now. Therefore, the task number 1 for the house is to lay the baseboards, install interior doors, and install a railing in the attic, as it is unsafe to be there without protection. I also need to design and order wooden storage in the attic under the roof. The space in the corners can be used efficiently to store things or tools. I need to install air conditioning, as the temperature in the house in the summer rises above 113 degrees Fahrenheit or 45 degrees Celsius because of the large window. Furniture and appliances must be purchased. Refrigerator, washing machine, dishes, wardrobe, bed, and so on. Also, it is necessary to design and order a kitchen. But this only makes sense after the construction of the local treatment station and the well, as the sink and dishwasher are connected to the water supply. Is furnishing the house part of the development of the offer trench? Of course it is, because a comfortable house covers basic needs and saves a lot of time. For example, washing dishes outside, washing clothes, showering outside, and constantly maintaining the well, the pump, hoses take a dozen times longer than washing clothes in a washing machine and washing dishes in a dishwasher. If talk about design, I said at the very beginning of my YouTube channel that lack of design is the biggest mistake in any construction project. Without a well thought out design, the work is either doomed to failure or will require correction that will be very costly in terms of time, finances, and efforts. Almost any construction on the site requires individual approach. I develop everything myself and sometimes turn to professionals to correct my projects and errors. In 2026, following things need to be developed and created: a basement for the house, a sauna, future pad that I plan to lay this year, and also determining the boundaries of the future pond, taking into account its measurements and calculating the scope of work for the pond. Small tasks for designing include creating a car for the generator with air filtration, noise absorption, and automatic heating, creating a car for the compressor using the same principle as for generator, creating a box for vegetables with heating and insulation, and creating a frame for installing cubes on a container. Blueberries, mushrooms, and other plantains require a huge amount of water. The frame will help to distribute the load evenly, and placement on the container will provide natural pressure for water supply. Development of the off-road range also includes a list of necessary purchases: tools, equipment, machinery, consumables, and so on. I made a list of the most expensive items: 40 food containers for construction and repair works, for car repairs, for storing fuel and lubricants, a snow blower. I think its necessity is clear given the amount of snow on the site. A self-propelled lawnmower. It is necessary to mow the grass not only to make it easier to move around the site, but also to reduce the number of ticks, mosquitoes, snakes, and other dangerous or poisonous creatures. A telescopic construction loader and attachments to it. A telescopic construction loader is necessary for all tasks. Digging a foundation pit for a local treatment station. Moving the ground for fence construction. Moving the ground to create paths. Preliminary tamping the ground. Digging a pond, and so on. Earth auger for drilling holes. I need to install around 300 posts just for the fence, and an earth auger will speed up the work several times over, especially if I have several replacement batteries. Sandblaster. I need to clean any metal from rust before grinding and painting, and later I need to repair my old Jeep. A propane-powered insecticide sprayer covering 5,000 square meters. I have absolutely no desire to contract a bunch of very serious and dangerous diseases, while many of them are incurable and fatal. A wood chipper, because last year I borrowed one from friends, and that's not really right. A cordless chainsaw that will be smaller and lighter than my current saw, and also will be a replacement if my current saw breaks down again. It is very inconvenient for me to take it to the service for several weeks when I have a work schedule. Each of these purchases gets the work done faster and brings me closer to my goal. For example, as it turned out in 2025, a huge number of blood-sucking insects greatly interfered with the work. Due to heavy spring rains, there were billions of them. Even in hot weather, I had to work with my body fully covered, with a net over my face and with constant sprays. And still, by the end of the season, I had developed an allergy to bites. Each bite was very painful and lasted for several weeks. And I was very lucky that none of the insects that bit me transmitted a virus. Therefore, all my purchases are based on real necessity. And of course, another goal for 2026 is to grow my YouTube channel. I want to share my works and my plans and inspire people for self-realization regardless of the level of difficulty. Also, I want to find like-minded people we can build reliable relationships with, set common goals and achieve them, support each other as much as possible on our chosen path while developing individually. By the end of 2026, I want to reach 10,000 subscribers, and I want to do it naturally, without buying ads or bots. Also, I plan to start a channel on Twitch, where you can see some of my works in real time. Please let me know in the comments if this type of content will be interesting for you. I would be very grateful if you would support me with your likes, subscriptions and comments, as well as sharing my channel with your friends. These simple actions are very important to me and will help me to come to my dream faster. I hope to see you in my next videos. It was Valeria, the Off-Road Ranch. I wish you all the best and see you soon.